Hi guys, happy Wednesday. So today we're going to have a little story time. And story time is about a tiny little indie author, creator, book creator who really didn't get a lot of sales and didn't really have a lot of product, but still managed to get their KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing account, terminated for a tiny little mistake that was completely misunderstood on her part. Okay, that's me. She is me. I am the little creator. Full disclosure, a lot of times in my planner videos, I have shared little planners and journals that I use, particularly recently, my little glow up self-care journal. Well, a lot of these that I use are mine. Little journals and planners that I have created. This one right here, I'm going to show you this one right here. I should have had these ready. I got a mess. I need to clean, but my little time block planner. These are mine, and I created these, and so I haven't really talked about it a lot on this channel. Like, this is, primarily my planner channel, my mindset, my time management, organization, which I'm wanting to talk about organization today. This room is a hot mess, and I think I'm going to spend some time this week working in here, but that's beside the point. The point is a couple of years ago, I jumped in full, both feet forward, both feet head first, whatever you want to say, into the self-publishing, what they call low to no content books on Amazon, Kindle Publishing, KDP. And so for the last couple of years, I have been kind of creating my own journals. Most of them I've been creating kind of for my own use. I created a little dot grid journal for my granddaughter, but anyway, that's all beside the point. Because none of that means anything anymore. It's all completely irrelevant, because what had happened last week when I was on my PTO, I was searching on Amazon for a Jeep journal, Jeep girl journal. Now, if you follow my channel for any amount of time, you know that we own a Jeep. I have a Jeep. I'm a Jeep girl, and I love to do all the Jeep girl things. And I'm in a club, a little Jeep girl club. And I've been just kind of looking for, I don't have my planner cover right here beside me, but I have, my little winter and my little summer beachy Jeep themed planner covers. So I've been trying to look for like a little Jeep girl themed planner to kind of go with my planner cover setup when I set it up. And I'm running out of inserts that I have, so I was kind of looking for like a Jeep inspired planner. Well, I found a few options, quite a few options, but nothing was what I was kind of looking at. So I was thinking, I make my own journals, I make my own planners. Why don't I just create something for myself? Now, I've bought a lot of templates that I used to create my journals and planners that were on Amazon. And I pay for subscription for Canva and Book Bowl. That's where I create my book covers. But I used, for the first time ever, I used an AI assistant to help me design the cover and the interior of the planner, because there were certain things I wanted to make sure that were in there. So I uploaded the book. And first thing I got was a email saying that the books were blocked. because I used the word Jeep. Okay, I said, no problem. I went in, I completely redid the covers for the journal, for the planner. I log on to upload the new cover. Nothing. I can't access my account. So I go back into my email. Sure enough, there's an email that said my account has been terminated because I used the word Jeep and used copyrighted material. I was devastated. So I emailed them, explained, this was an error. I found some Jeep planners on Amazon's website. I didn't mean any harm. I would never harm Jeep. I love Jeep. They said, no, we're upholding our decision. So then I sent the official appeal email with my new revised covers, asked them to please reconsider. No, the email I got back was very harsh, very hurtful. I mean, it was very, very stern, very hurtful. Basically, it said there will be no further review. No one is going to reconsider this account. You're banned from ever selling on KDP. Your account is terminated. All your royalties have been forfeited. You'll never receive those. You're banned forever. Don't ask us again. Basically, they said this is the last communication we're going to have with you. And I was just kind of taken aback, wow, my first time in I don't know, maybe 4 years. I don't remember how long I've been doing these planners, but it's been quite a couple of years now, at least since 2020. So now we're looking at 5-6 years. And my first time I screwed up, they are this freaking just unyielding, just no. And I was like, wow, because they said I used the word Jeep and I used the image of a Jeep. Okay, now here is a journal that they published. I don't have the word Jeep on it, but I do have a little image. I mean, most people can look at it and say, hey, there's a Jeep. It's an off-road book. And it's a little off-road journal that I created. But I'm going to kind of show you some examples. Right here, this says, never underestimate the power of a girl who loves Jeeps. The word Jeep is in the title. The word Jeep is on the cover. And there's a little image of a Jeep. Jeep hair don't care. The peeps in my Jeep. I'm a Jeep mom, except way cooler. And there's, if you can see, there's definitely an image of a Jeep with the word Jeep. Jeep Girl, My Adventure Journal. And it just goes on and on. I am a mom. I am a Jeep mom, just like a normal mom, only cooler. Here's a Jeep. And the title is All I Need, Jeep, and a Whole Lot of Jesus Today. It's a notebook cover. Easily distracted by Jeeps and dogs. My broom broke, so now I drive a Jeep. And there's a little Jeep image. Embrace the wild, capturing our Jeep adventures. 5 women in a Jeep. All I need is dog in a Jeep. Sorry for what I said when my Jeep was broken. So here's my examples though. A Jeep planner. And the title says Jeep 2-year planner. And a Jeep 2026 engagement calendar. It's in the title. And the thing is the more I think about it, the more pissed off I am, because I feel like my account was just completely shut down for something that all these other books have done. And how are they different from me? Because some of them may be, more, I don't know, high volume authors. I don't know. Some of these I can tell are just KDP published books, just like mine. And I was like looking in a forum when it first happened. I was devastated because I had been working all these years. I had like about 130, 150 books. I never really made that much money. I honestly really never made any money selling books on Kindle or KDP. I really never made any freaking money. I just loved creating them. I loved designing the covers and just watching them come to life, like holding them in my hand and say, I did that, I made that. But and I was like looking at the forums, people whose accounts have been, terminated for whatever reason, and kind of like, what did they do? What are other publishing options if you lose access to KDP, to Amazon? And someone was like in the forum saying like all these people complaining about their account, being terminated, and they're not admitting or owning up to the fact that they broke the terms or whatever. Well, I'm not denying it. They said it was because I used the word Jeep and an image of the Jeep on my cover. I did that. But what I'm complaining about is that I'm not the only one who did that. And I'm going to show you. This was my cover, but it said, I'm going to try to find right here. I'm trying to find, here was my cover that I got in trouble for. It said Mindset, Coffee, Jeep, Repeat. That was my cover that I got in trouble for. And I want to know, how was that more in violation than all these other ones that say plainly use the word Jeep in their title and on their cover and the images of the Jeep? And that's all I wanted to know. And now they just have completely shut off all communication with me. They won't even respond to my emails anymore. It's crazy. So let this be a cautionary tale. Just because 1,500 other people can use Jeep on their title and their book covers for their journals and their planners does not necessarily mean that you can do it. I learned that lesson the hard way. So now I'm just kind of like, I still have all my files. I have all my files of all of my journals, my inserts, like my interiors. I still have all that, so they can't take that away from me. I did have 2 actual books that I wrote. They were ebooks, and now they have those, and all my stuff is gone. And I'm really pissed about my book. Like the planners, I can print this off on my printer at home, cut them down to size, and I can use my little happy planner hole punch and use them in my own planner. I ain't worried about that. I'm not worried about that. The thing is, my book, I'm pissed about my book. But so now I just kind of have to, but I do have all my files. I pay for Canva, I pay for BookBolt, so they can't take that stuff away from me. I can never republish like this particular journal again, but I can use these interiors to create a new cover and republish them somewhere else. But that's just it. I've been trying to look and research what are other publishing options, something that's probably a little user friendly. I work 2 jobs. I try to manage a household of 5 with 2 Siberian Huskies It's not like I just have all day to sit here and try to learn, you know, new software, publishing, you know, platforms. But so I'm just trying to look at other options. What can I do? Or should I just forget the whole, like, the what they call the low and no content book, like the planners and journals? You know, I may just like scrap that whole idea. I did it for a few years. Again, I didn't make any money at all. That was just the thing. I did all that work, and I didn't make anything off of Amazon. KDP did not pay crap for the stuff that I did. So I didn't have a lot of sales, but I did not. You see these videos of people say I make $4,000 a day selling books on KDP, and great for them, because I'm going to tell you, I don't think I made $100 in the whole 5-6 years I've been selling books on KDP. So yeah, that was not my experience at all. So I'm just going to give myself some time to like really think this through, and I may scrap the whole like planner journal thing, because honestly, one thing I found when I was doing it on KDP, that market is so saturated, so saturated. It's just, there's thousands of people who are creating these little journals and planners on KDP and selling them. So there's no market there. But I do love to write. A couple of years ago, I did my first and only NaNoWriMo. So I do have some writing projects, and I do have a blog. So that's one thing Amazon cannot take from me. They cannot take my passion and my desire to want to write, and they can't take other platforms away from me. If I want to write, I can still write. I can write on my blog, and there's nothing that says that I can't write books and just publish them somewhere else, which is fine, and which is what I will obviously have to do, because yeah, they were horrible about this whole thing. I mean, I understand I made a mistake, but I went out of my way to try to correct it, to try to fix it, to try to shut it down, like, you know, correct it before, you know, it went any further. And they were just horrible about it. Just absolutely unrelenting. The emails were just, each email response I got was just more like, it was so weird. It was like they were progressively getting colder and sterner and more just like, basically they were just like, I wish you'd just fuck off and leave us alone. We don't want anything more to do with you. And that's kind of how the email felt, reading it. But anyway, I just wanted to share my little cautionary tale. If you do this, just be careful. And that's the thing, is like, I've been watching YouTube videos of people whose accounts have been terminated for whatever reason, or suspended or whatever. And that was the hardest lesson that I learned. I got terminated like literally within hours of my first one mistake. And now about 150 books I will never have access to again. They're gone forever. My royalties, which was literally, I had like 78 cents was all I had, but it's gone forever. So I'm not losing sleep over the 78 cents, but it's my damn book I'm losing sleep over. But that's okay, because it was a story that was personal to me, and it's all still in here, and they can't have the copyrights to any revisions, so I can always rewrite that book and sell it somewhere else. And that's probably what I'll eventually do. But I just, anyway, I just wanted to share a cool little story with you guys. And again, provide a little cautionary tale. If you if you or someone else out here who makes these low content books, planners, journals on KDP, just be careful. Watch your P's and Q's, and just, again, just because someone else has a journal that has something on it, you know, doesn't mean that you can get by with it. It was crazy. But anyway, if you also do self-publish and sell books through other platforms that are not KDP and Amazon, I would love for you to throw some ideas at me, throw some experiences, things you like, platforms you don't like, because right now I'm kind of like this whole open space, and I'm just looking for what is going to be my next move. Anyway, with that, if you've made it to the end of this very long-winded video, thank you so much. It always means the world to me when you take time out of your day to watch my videos, and I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye.